because I've gone early. Not premature, early. So I thought I'd read some of the messages out whilst we wait for all the slackers to come into. Let me just. Top of my head's missing, sort of. Let me just do that. That'll work. I'm just trying to block out all the stuff in the background. I did think, for shits and giggles, you know this thing that's been going on about this banana and gaffer tape. I did think about sticking some Battenberg with gaffer tape on the wall. It was a suggestion by someone, and I forgot. So I would have gone and gotten some Battenberg, and I've got my gaffer tape downstairs. Don't ask. I'm not going to tell you. But I just have some gaffer tape about me person, and I think it would have been funny if I'd put it instead of that picture. That would have been funny. Maybe I'll do it on Wednesday. You never know, but maybe the joke's gone by then. So those that are slacking and not here at 8 o'clock, bend over. I have my prayer book with me, and I'll give you a little rooting and a tooting and a rattling with me prayer book, Your Honour. So, welcome to the... Is it? Well, there's no Bluetooth on, so don't know why it's crackling, other than it's pork. Oh, the audio. Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, stay there. Don't move. If it kind of does the wrong thing, or let me just see if I can do that or that. Right. Bluetooth is off. I'm so pleased that we got in early, and we're still early, and those that come here at 8 o'clock won't know that there was a slight technical issue. Wunderbar. Thank you very much for letting me know. I hope you're sitting comfortably with your snacks and nibbles and altar wine and Battenberg. What was I going to say? I did think of... we'll get into the messages. We'll get into the... let me get me full head in. Hang on. Right, that's better. Nigel Green says, good evening, Rev, and the rest in the body of the wrong and Kirk. Well, it's wild out there today. Never did expect to get so thoroughly blown on a Sunday. That's what Sunday mornings are made for, aren't they, Nigel? No complaints at my age. Battenberg, anyone? Oh, yeah, send some mine my way. The new Mrs. Allen's out of the country. I'm going to starve for the week. So she says, there's takeaways. I'm joking. What, my shape? Just giving it a blow. Oh, that was it. I was thinking... hang on, are we 8 o'clock? Oh, no, I'll do the gag in... Hang on, I'll do the gag in a second. Because Nigel started me off. So, I'll just put a little aide-memoire down. Thank you, Nigel. Thank you to... Is it Michael Collett? Thank you to Michael, who is going to catch up with this live later. But he messaged me on Twitter and said, oh, go on, Rev, give us a mention. Michael, you're most welcome. And thank you for your continued support on Twitter, or X, as it's called now. I did see something really bizarre by Elon Musk earlier. And Elon Musk, right, owns Twitter. So he can, in effect, just post whatever he wants. But he's posted that he's watched, or has intimated that he's watched, the Tommy Robinson Silenced documentary. Ooh, I wonder what's going to happen. Because you know the deviants in the Pink Palace, they've said, right, we're in charge, and Cuban Pete, stand by. I'm in the middle of, Elon, you better come over here because you need to explain yourself. Hey, the richest man in the world. He's mates with the most powerful man in the world. Except Larry Fink, of course, BlackRock. And he's got some wobbly heads sitting in the Houses of Parliament saying, Elon, get over here. Do you know, if I was Elon Musk, I'd say, in the words of the great Chinese philosopher, you can foxtrot Oscar, mate. Who the do you think you are? Oh, deviants. Yes, quite. That'll be. Have you noticed how? I'll get a Cuban pizza request in a moment. That'll be Foxtrot Oscar then. Yeah, Tom. So, have you noticed how there was this story in the middle of the week, and I didn't put it down to talk about tonight, but it's this WhatsApp group right now for all the what can we say? The colourful. They're all having it away in all the offices in Portcullis House, which is just across the road from the Houses of Parliament, and they're all having it away with each other. That's like men, not men and women. Men, they're just at it. Well, of course they're at it. They're all at it. But welcome, Kathy. Welcome to the body of the Kirk. You might have to budge a few people up because I think it's quite busy this evening. So they're all having it away with each other in Portcullis House. You see, that's not even as good as the Americans, because the Americans were doing it in their Senate. They had two blokes having it away with each other, which, not my thing, but they did it in America, and now they want to do it in Portcullis House because they've got a WhatsApp group for it called Right Now. And have you noticed the story has been mullered, killed, swept away under the carpet? Nobody's talking about it. And it was Nadine Dorries. I mean, she's got a half decent, I think it's in the Daily Mail. She's got a half decent column. Fanar, euphemism. And she said, oh, yes, I'm getting messages and pictures of men having sex with each other in a WhatsApp group called Right Now. Story's gone. It's disappeared. It has literally foxtrot Oscared. Anyway, as I was saying, Andrew James says, don't forget to smash the likes. Yes, please. I don't want you to be a difficult audience this evening. I am knocking my pipe out for you for a couple of hours. Knocking one out, I am tonight. And imagine you are Harold Wilson and the like button is his secretary's. Very good, Andrew. Very, very good. Yeah, because he smashed both of them, didn't he? Or was the three of them? Mocky old tart. Paulie Galtieri, welcome to the body of the Kirk. Paulie, good to have you here this evening. And he says, evening, Adrian, you're on, but not in the Keir Starmer sense of the word, you must understand. I'm so glad that you actually made that clear. I have no friends with flats where I can go and... Although, hang on a second, I just need to think about this. How can I say this? There was a very famous politician who loaned a flat. This has got nothing to do with now. This is a few years ago, 30 years ago. Very famous politician who loaned his flat in Londinium so that a couple of other MPs of the same party could go round and smash the back doors in. Genuine. That's never come out. No, not until they die, really. But stiff is what they wanted and stiff is what they got. Oh, did I say that out loud? So thank you, Andrew and Paulie and Leeds. I was waiting. But the good thing is, Leeds. So Leeds says, we're top of the league. We're Leeds United and we're top of the league. Goal difference. Technical, yeah, but yeah, you are top of the league. I've got to give you every props for it because Sunderland have given it away. I mean, the last 5 matches, they've drawn them all. Arses. So we've lost about 10 points, I think, to bloody draws. There's a couple that we've been leading, and it gets to 90 minutes, and they're obviously thinking, oh, hang on a second, did I put a bet on? Yeah, what did I bet? Oh, 1-1. Right, somebody let a goal in. I've got a bet on this. Seemingly, that's illegal. You're not allowed to do that. But there's some fucking reason why we kept letting goals in around the 90th minute. But Leeds, I think the championship this year is fabulous. And Sandra, who's a Sheffield United supporter. So the three of us are there or thereabouts. All got 32 points and you're top of the league by goal difference. I did think of you when I looked at the league today. I thought, oh, going to get it tonight. And the footy. Thank you, Leeds. Stuart, evening Rev. The choir boys have added an extra task for me to do. Oh, I say, Stuart, what are they up to? Which is polish the Reverend's organ. I've been punished for the Jaeger Bomb hibiscus tea. I wouldn't punish you, Stuart, for a Jaeger Bomb hibiscus tea. I think it was it was most welcome. It was warming, and as I say, breakfast of skiing champions. I've done that a fair few times. Oh God, love it, love it, love it. The Jaeger Bomb and hibiscus tea. I mean, combining two of my favourite things. There are other things, of course, that I can't bring to the body of the Kirk because I will be smite. I will be smite down by him upstairs with a lightning bolt because, well, you know, I'm sort of... well, if the big lad upstairs goes, Reverend Allen, what the fucking hell do you think you're doing, mate? Well, you know, just having a Jaeger bomb just kind of get me through the night. And Stuart says I could have it in me hibiscus tea. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So let me tell you, I was thinking about maybe we could have, now that it's gone past 8 o'clock, maybe we could have, and those that are just coming into the body of the Kirk, hang on, what's going on? I've been at this for over 10 minutes now, decided to go early. Not a first in my case, let me tell you, it's an age thing. I went early and I've been here since about, 5 to 8, 6 minutes to 8. Just thought I'd start. But now that you're getting your feet in the pews and getting your derrieres, polishing polishing the wood, pews, of course. Now that you're... isn't it that thing that I mean, as a man, as men, I mean, sure, the women with their skirts. When you sort of sit on wood all the time, you know what I'm talking about, you monkey tart. When you're sitting on wood, it ends up where your trousers are a bit shiny, because you've just been, you know, both cheeks have been slipping, so to speak. Hang on, what did Stuart also say? Jaeger Bomb coffee warms me up, just saying. Honestly, Stuart, I think you've started a new trend, to be fair. Most people in this country, although I am going to get to storm. I am going to get to snow in a minute, because lots of people, I've got it, you've got it, I'm sure. Lots of the north have got snow. But the shandy drinkers, I hear from friends, it's just bad wind. Must have been that bloody Jaeger bomb and the hibiscus tea, of course. So I hope that you're safe and warm as you can be, considering it's winter. It's winter. It's like when the white stuff comes down, snow before you start. When the white stuff comes down, God blimey, I'm sweating a bit now. It's winter. So it's going to be gone by the end of the week. But if you're being blown about today, like Nigel a little earlier, then I hope you enjoyed it. The other thing was, I was thinking about putting together a church band of sorts. I mean, we could do a brass band for the Christmas service, but... yeah, Knock on Wood. Amy Stewart, fabulous. But it was a cover version. Who did the original Knock on Wood? Was it Eddie Floyd? Or am I just making things up? I'm probably just making things up. So, yes, Knock on Wood was originally, I'm sure, Eddie Floyd. And then Amy Stewart, who was the sister of Errol, the drummer, in Imagination. And she did, was it Relight My Fire, Knock on Wood? It was like... 7 or 8 minutes. 7 or 8 minutes. What can I do for that? Boil a kettle. So I was thinking about getting a band together for Christmas, for the Christmas service. And then I thought, do you know, what we've been missing is someone that could play the mouth organ. Because you can suck and blow at the same time. And Nigel's obviously sent me down this particular path. You're wrong. But we can have the brass. We can have the wind. We can have strings, and does a mouth organ. sit in the amongst the wind instruments, or is it blow? So, anybody got a decent mouth organ? Anybody good with a mouth organ? Is Tracy, the celibate sinner, back in the body of the Kirk this evening? She's obviously the expert, but the pink oboe. No, not the pink oboe. Obviously, giving a good mouth organ a good blow and suck, because seemingly, I mean, I've never played it myself. Maybe I should get to that Portcullis house drummer. Yeah, we'll have a midget. He can be little drummer boy. But we really should do something for Christmas. It's only a month away. That's why I'm mentioning it. So we'll do some more. We'll do some more messages before I really do get myself into trouble. And thank you, Stuart. Ernst Goldfinger. The petition is not what it seems. Allegedly, it is the number of men who are applying to Starmer's next freak-off party. Nice one, Ernst. Cake shops are inundated with orders for Battenberg cakes. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. But around about these parts where it's quite snowy, I think people have managed to get out and have a home delivery from Tesco's or Waitrose or Asda, and the Battenberg is now all sold out. I really should have strapped that Battenberg to the wall with a bit of gaffer tape. Thank you, Ernst. Welcome to the body of the Kirk, sir. Tracy, the celibate sinner. Oh, tonight's Sermon on the Mount features why Hortby River Sauvignon Blanc 2022 with Stinky Bishop. Oh, you've got a Stinky Bishop. We can't bash the Bishop, you know. We have to be respectful. But if you want to get your laughing gas around a bit of Stinky Bishop, then on your head be it. But I, for one, I'm not going to bash the Bishop whilst I am live on YouTube, Your Honour. Hang on. Followed by 2005 Rosso foreplay, paired with Father David Stilton. He's quite proud of his big blue vein. I'm sure he is, but as I have mentioned in the past, I did do this one Christmas. Friend's mum, who was a bit of an old girl, and she was like, "Hey, Adrian, would you like some cheese?" I was like, "Oh, what we got?" And we got a blue. And I said, "I'm so sorry. I'd have to have la-di-da and la-di-da, because nothing with a blue vein will ever pass my lips." God blimey, I think she spat her false teeth across the room. You know, these old girls, they know all the tricks. From the chair. So thank you, Tracy, the celibate sinner. Looks like you've got something with a nice big blue vein in it, and the Stinky Bishop. Just blame it on the dog. From the chair. Evening, Adrian. I think it's very funny and embarrassing that there's a petition that's got over 1 million signatures for a new general election to get rid of this government. God blimey, you've been busy tonight. Just before I came on air, it was 1,439,916, and I can guarantee you that whilst what was that one? Somebody's just put me an update up there. Hang on, I'll go all the way to the bottom. 1,480,000. So, oh blimey, nearly 50,000 in half an hour. It's averaging about 100,000 an hour. So it looks like by the time we get overnight and then first thing in the morning, it's going to have reached 2 million. Now, the Labour Party only got, was it 9 million? 9 million, you can tell I've written this down, 9,708,716 votes in the general election. I mean, can you imagine if this country is really proper brassed off that they get 10 million signatures? Oh, dear Lord, I would burst my incontinence pants. Funny. Paulie Gallieri also says, Amalia Grassi, they'll only vote fecking Labour in again. No, they won't. They're done. As I am going to say. But I'm going to give you the answer. Because you know this poll petition is not really going to do anything. I mean, I am going to ask you a question, so make sure that you're there and you're ready with your keyboard, because I am going to ask you a question in a moment. I would like your answer, but in the field. Due to all the Battenberg we've eaten, can the band do a cover of Band on the Runs? Brilliant. 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 Yeah, let's have a suggestion this evening whilst we're going on for a couple of hours. Songs the band can play for the Christmas sermon. Songs that they can play. Battenberg related only. So you're going to have to make your brain think. So I'm going to give you the answer. I'm going to give you the answer of how you, me, and the whole country can actually get rid of this rancid, toxic bunch of liars. Who said that? Didn't see my lips move. Liars. Tossers. That's a good one. Who was that? Cuban Pete. So I'm going to tell you how you can do it. And there is a way. There is a way to get rid of them. And it's a really simple one to get rid of them. Because what they've done is once... Look, we Brits, we're brilliant fighters. What's that? Oh, my love eggs have just fallen out. You started me off. We're good fighters, we Brits, and we don't like it up us. We don't like liars. I think that's the rub of this whole thing. We don't like liars. And we expect our politicians to have certain standards, and those standards mean that they don't bloody lie. Hang on, please. Leah says, please, could you leave? I'm sorry, have I done something you upset you, Leah? Oh, wait, say to them, no. We don't say things to them. We give them a bloody order. Because they're doing our work. We pay them taxes and stuff. Leah says, ask them to politely go. No. Not telling the Foxtrot Oscar either. There is a way. Right. I started early, so I'll get in there because we've got plenty of feet under the pews. I hope your derriere is suitably looked after and your back door is firmly placed. If you need your pile cushion, just have a word with one of the choir boys. They're going to send the collection plate round in just a little moment or two. We 3 cakes of marzipan are Tracy the Celibate Sinner. Brilliant. Looking for songs, Battenberg songs for the band to play for the Christmas sermon. The French would torch everything, says Pellan Counties. Yeah, they're not great fighters, really, the French. Jingle smells. Jingle bells, Batman smells. Thank you, Amalia. And I've got a word that rhymes with stunts. Cupid stunts. Oh, hang on. Did I just say Sandra there? Oh, no. Andy Turner, did you see Elon Musk tell Starmer to do one? No, I didn't. But has he done it in a video or has he just typed it on X? I did say earlier that... Right, Elon, come over here, come to London, and we'll sit you in front of one of our committees. Hathaway and shite, man. Talks like that, Elon, when he's had a little snifter. Song, Lady Marmalade or Lady Battenberg, Karen? Oh, hang on, Karen, you're first. By the way, anybody that's a first-timer that hasn't commented and is going to comment this evening, I will pop your cherry for you this evening because it's a little ritual that we have to make sure you are welcomed suitably into the body of the kirk. Lionel Layton says, if I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake. Brilliant. Video on ES somewhere, says Andy. Right, I'll have a look at that once I finish this live. Napoleon blown apart, jingle bells, marzipan smells. Oh, I just love me marzipan, man. Almonds, fabulous. Not that I ever get a chance to have a we are family. Sandra Wytham, welcome to the body of the kirk. I've been waiting all night for you, man. Leeds has already got the point made that they're top of the league. Me and you, we're just holding Leeds up. You did say, could we... I think you jinxed it, Sandra, because you did say a couple of weeks ago, can you start losing some games, please? Look what's happened. But welcome to the body of the kirk, Sandra. We are family. I've got all my Battenbergs with me. Hang on a second. Max Dan says, freeze the Battenberg, put it in a pillowcase. Am I missing something mucky here? Paulie Galtieri, Battenberg and Wine by Kitty. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I'll be happy we've said that. Andrew James, Kiss sang Raise Your Glasses on the Psycho Circus album. We could change it to Raise Your Battenbergs, or maybe Raise Your Altar Wine whilst I chew on a bit of slice of Battenberg. Doorstep size. Pointer Sisters, Leah, Pointer Sisters, what would they sing? I need a man with a portion of Battenberg or a slow hand. Paul Morton, if you're happy and you know it, grease your cheeks. Brilliant, Paul. Ray Norton, do they know it's Battenberg time? Oh, it's 40 years, man. Do you know, I mentioned it a couple of, was it last Sunday or the Wednesday before? I mentioned Band-Aid, and I said, who's getting the money for the writing credits? And sure enough, they're starting to ask us similar questions in the press today. Oh, they can't keep up, can they? Unless they're watching this all the time for ideas. Tom Harney's It's Raining Cakes. Brilliant. Lionel Layton says, days of wine and Battenberg. Oh, if only. Go to Heinz sandwich spread in hang on. Pennine Counties. Really? Oh, no, it was those little jars of Heinz sandwich spread. Now in them. At least the bread lasted longer when I was a kid. Have you noticed how bread goes off within like 4 or 5 days of buying it from supermarkets? What the bloody hell's going on? Stuart, feed the world. Let them know it's Battenberg time. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant. Christmas time, Battenberg and wine in the field, yellow and pink summer. That's funny, in the field. Yellow and pink submarine. We all live in a yellow and pink submarine. I don't think it scans, but it's close. Carl Shaw, since you've been scone. Nice one, Carl. Just in case, I haven't seen your name for a long time. Max Donner smells like Battenberg Spirit. Wasn't Teen Spirit a deodorant or something? And his girlfriend complained that he always wore it. So he wrote a song about it. What song it was, though? Nirvana. Smells like Teen Spirit. Fill you in. Santa Claus. Oh, yeah. Oh, who did that originally, fill you in? The Australian guy, and then Chubby Brown covered it. Santa Claus, where's me King Battenberg? A couple more, and then we'll get into the way that actually you can stick it right up the Labour Party, because they're a bunch of Terry Wookford. They have to be interviewed. Are we having two conversations here, Terry? We were doing the Battenberg thing. We are going to get a band together, or just suggest songs for the Christmas sermon. Kevin Bloody Wilson, thank you, moderator. That was it. Yeah, the Australian. Fill you in, Kevin Bloody Wilson. Napoleon Bonaparte. Oh, Battenberg. Oh, Battenberg. We could make a film about that. Oh, Captain. Oh, Captain. It was Robin Williams in Dead Poets Society. Brilliant. Scroll up, you daft get, Terry Wookford. Thanks very much. Right. We the Fibble. The Battenberg out of hell. There's a title for you. Oh, we'll go back to the story about me nearly having a proper punch-up with Meatloaf. Fat tart. Great voice, great album. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Have you got your altar wine? Have you got your Battenberg? And have you got both cheeks in the pew? Because if you want Starmer the Harmer, 2-tier, free gear, Starmer, Jinglebergs. Who said that, Stuart? That's brilliant. Jinglebergs. Like Jesus to a Battenberg, Paulie. Stop it. I'm being serious now. So you're making me laugh. Get these off. You're making me laugh. But I'm going to tell you how to get Labour out of power. Because it's really simple. But nobody knows about it. So if you really want Starmer the Harmer out, gone, Foxtrot Osgood, this is is the only legitimate way, not the poll that's ongoing. If you keep an eye on it, because I all day today I've just been flicking and seeing how like Adam and Eve. The first time Adam turned around to Eve and said, "Eve, stand back. I don't know how big this thing gets." Same as this poll. I'm not quite sure how big it's going to get, but I voted yesterday afternoon when it was about 80 odd thousand. Didn't think it was going to go where it went, but it's caught the zeitgeist of the country. The country's had enough. Literally, the country's have enough. So I would suggest to you that voters, people, we Englanders, we Brits, don't trust them because they've lied. Starmer has literally lied every which way he could. Reeves, Rayner, or any MP, if we're sick and tired to death of them, there is a way to get rid of them. And that is a recall petition. A recall petition under the 2015 Recall Act. So let me explain it to you. So say me and you are living in a particular constituency. But people in one constituency may force a by-election at any time during a term of office. So I'll kind of Janet and John this for you. Not that I don't think that you're intelligent, because you are. But nobody knows about this Recall Act, the 2015 Recall Act. So people in an MP's constituency can force a by-election at any time during a term of office. And this is how it works. To do this, they need to get 10% or more of registered voters to sign a petition recalling their MP. So I don't know how many votes, because I know Corbyn got more votes than Starmer, but I don't know how many votes Starmer got, if somebody could look that up. And then 10% of that vote, if there's enough people, and they go, no. And the signatories to this petition under the Recall Act of 2015 must be on the local electoral roll. So the petition with signatures from the electoral roll is delivered to the local party chairperson. Woke. Now, the party chairperson has to organise the by-election. So, for example, we'll use Starmer as an example, just because he's Prime Minister and he's the head of the Labour Party. Right, Leah says there's a lag of about 2 seconds, so I'll say it slowly for you, Leah. So, for example, Keir Starmer, I think it's Islington, isn't it? His constituency. So if the constituents were a bit brassed off with him, they literally could organise a recall petition under this 2015 Recall Act. So say however many votes Keir Starmer has, I'm just using this as an example. So say he had 30,000 votes at the last election. I'm sure it was more. But a formal constituency petition would only need 3,000 verified signatures from the electoral roll. Even if the by-election didn't remove the MP, it would be, as you and I would agree, very politically damaging. So you can do that. You can go to the local, whatever party it is, and you can say, not at me. Okay, so under the 2015 Recall Act, I want to get a recall petition. Right, okay, so let's have a look. So Sir Keir Starmer got 100,000 votes. Right, you need 10,000 signatures on that petition. And the reason it's not used is because nobody knows about it. I've done my research. That's how to get rid of them. Hang on, what did he pull out? Pennine counties, what are you saying? They will Sir Humphrey it, will they? Well, they can't. Not if. That's the thing. They don't understand social media. They don't. They're just nose in the trough. They get Bill Gates in or Larry Fink in the number 10. Oh, have a look around. Or if you're Lord Ali, you've got your own key for it. Oh, have a look around. Yeah, right. That's how they work. They don't. They're not posting on social media. Most of them haven't got Facebook pages or Twitter accounts or Insta. They haven't got, no. They still deal with limp handshakes and banging each other in portcullis house right now. So that is how it can be done. Is it legally binding? Oh, yes, Cuban Pete. Oh, yes. If the constituents of that constituency go to the local party chairperson and say, oi, you're wrongin', they will dismiss any attempt by calling everyone who signs as far right. Well, they can call us whatever they want. I'm not far right. I've told you before. I'm from Sunderland. Sunderland, no such thing as far right in Sunderland. We're all red. If you go all the way down from like Newcastle, if you Northumberland, all the way down to Teesside, the Smoggies, no, we're left wing, man. Don't listen to this BS that these idiots trot out to try and tar people with the very wrong brush. But I agree with you that they might try to do that, but we'll just laugh. No, we're all card-carrying members of the Labour Party. Garth. Oh, no, they're right wing. They're right wing. This is how they got rid of former Wellingborough MP Pete Bone. Wasn't there a senator called Boner? Got rid of him quick. And give the dog a bone. Starmer, oh Jesus, Starmer, 18,844 votes. Oh, Bovril. Brilliant. So we only need 1,800 votes to get him gone. Yeah, give the dog a bone. So if people are unhappy in his constituency, it is the 2015 Recall Act. They would need at least 1,800 signatures on a recall petition to the chairperson in Islington. Brilliant. Because they're not infallible. Hang on. Spam software, Starmer, isn't going to give up power now. He'll just keep turning the screw like a good Stalinist boy in the field. I agree. But they obviously, it's 2015. They'll know politics that go back 20, 30, 40 years. They'll know Second World War politics. Not 2015. That might come round in like 10 or 15 years. Oh, I say, what's this 2015 Recall Act? Well, if anybody wants to get rid of Sir Keir Starmer, 1,800 signatures to a recall petition. And if it goes to the local party chairman and they say, oh, no, we can't do that. No, can't do that. Yes, you fucking can. Because it's legally binding and it's the law. And he's a barrister. He'll understand what the law means. It means, mate, you can foxtrot Oscar. We've worked you out. We're sick and tired of your lies. But it's Islington. It's the workerati. I mean, Islington. Been some good bookshops there in my time. Oh, that Jaeger bomber biscuits. It's I might need everyone. It's addictive. So that is how you get rid of them. So it doesn't matter. I mean, some of them got less than 10,000 votes because there was only 20% of the voting public voted in the general election. So if you've got somebody who's hanging on by a piece of string, Holborn and St Pancras, I thought it was Islington. I thought it was the same one that Blair had. Starmer wrote the Human Rights Handbook on playing the victim. He did, Paulie. He did. I mean, have you looked into his eyes? Have you looked into that man's eyes? They're shark's eyes. They're dead. They're dead. There's no life in them. And I've told you before, it's legally binding for hundreds of years. Catholics and Jews are not allowed to be a prime minister. And Starmer is as Jewish as you can get. Why do you think he takes Saturday off? Shabbat? Oh, yeah, you're right. Thank you, moderator. Tony Blair. Yeah, he was MP for Sedgefield in County Durham, where they had paedophiles. The Labour Party in Sedgefield had paedophiles working for them. I can say that on here because it's not monetised. Because I know. And I saw one that I know is absolutely, categorically deviant, filthy pervert. He was sentenced to 35 years. and I saw this piece of shit on the telly, shaking Tony Blair's hands. Now, I will tell you this. Is LinkedIn's Corbyn, that's why I'm getting mixed up. I will tell you this, that the intelligence services that look after all the VIPs and all the high profile and look after Blair while he was Prime Minister, how did they allow this piece of shit into the Sedgefield Labour Party constituency? Wonder how they did that then. Charles Linton, how you doing, bonny lad? Saw it on TV. I thought, how does that work? You know, the intelligence services, how would they let that in there? Starmer and the King are both Weft puppets. They are. I mean, I think the King is not so much a puppet, but he's kind of in there. And I think when the veil slips, because his mum was brilliant. The Queen Elizabeth II was fantastic. But Charles, I mean, so a question. We are going to talk about royals, things that make you go, showbiz, World War III, American presidents, and anything else that I can kind of throw in for you in a couple of hours. But here's the thing. What's happened to the Queen Consort? Is she, Cuban P1, is she ill? I mean, is she dead? I mean, are we getting another Catherine here? Princess of Wales? Divide and rule. Rodney Trotter and Keir Rodney Starmer are plonkers. Johnny Ray, loved your tunes. And she's kind of shuffled off. Where's she gone? Camilla, the Queen Consort, where's she gone? Oh, she's not very well. She's got a chest infection. Here, Charles, get in there. She's your missus, man. Get some Vicks on your hand and give her a chest a rub. It's old-fashioned. He'll know. Yes, so I don't know whether I'd... does Starmer... Where is it? Does Starmer... Shabbat Battenberg on a Friday? Well, he because my dad was paperboy, because it depends on the flavour of Judaism. So if you're from a black hat ringlets, can't touch from when the sun goes down on a Friday, can't touch anything electrical at all. So my dad used to go to the local rabbi and used to switch his lights on, like tea time on a Friday, because he can't touch anything electrical. And if Starmer is saying from like tea time on a Friday, that's it, all my politics is done, slacker, and then he doesn't do anything, does he go with his wife, who's Jewish, and his children, who are Jewish, because it's the maternal line, not the paternal line. So is he going to synagogue on a Saturday? If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, waddles like a duck, it's a duck. But Blair, who was Catholic in all but name, meeting the Pope with his missus, very Catholic. Yes, it can't be Prime Minister. How are they getting around that then? Because it's law in this country, not allowed since Henry VIII and the Reformation. Pennine County says tea time my arse. Well, if that's what get you through the night, Pennine Counties, do the clutter book. Theo Bovril, Charles declared Camilla Queen, for all king's wives are called Queen. No, they're not. Queen Elizabeth II says, yeah, she can be called Queen Consort. Because, well, king supersedes queen. So if you've got somebody who's king, then they can call anything they want, I suppose, and it don't really matter. But when Queen Elizabeth II was queen, that's why Philip wasn't king, because then he would usurp queen. I mean, it's all, it's very quaint. Americans love it. It's very quaint. But, so let's just park that there. There is something called a recall petition under the 2015 Recall Act, and it just, Disraeli was Jewish. How does that work then? Benjamin. Yeah, Deza said that QE2, not the ship, the Queen was Queen Regnant. That's because she was above all others. So you can't have... So King Charles III will be king. So nothing, supersedes that. But I was thinking about, if you think about the Queen and in chess, she can move any way she wants. She's got all the power. The Queen in chess has all the power. King is just the king. He only moves one square at a time. I mean, he's a bit dull, to be fair. And thank you, Terry Wookfoot. I'll get to that in a second. That's brilliant. And so Charles would kind of stand there, and the Queen's job, Queen, is to look after the king's heart. I mean, he's, the crown wears heavy. We've seen little Charlie, Charles, not Charlie, Charles, he gets a bit uptight. Bloody pen, bloody thing, which I thought was really funny, but obviously he's really sensitive and gets a bit uptight. Oh, bagger. And you think, Charles, man, just chill, baby. Just chill. It's just a pen. All right, it might have made a mess of the desk, but bloody thing. Bless him. He'd only just become king, and he's like, oh, I don't want this, man. Don't want this. I've been the Prince of Wales for so many years. Don't know what I need to do as king. Yeah, neither do we. You're wrongin'. So Terry Wookfoot says, Blair became Roman Catholic after he left office. No shit, Sherlock. Boris was a Catholic even before being PM. Restrictions on Catholics were fully removed in 2004. Did they? Those bloody popes. The Roman Catholics, yeah, we can be in charge. We can be Prime Minister. No, yeah, King can't. They removed it. I mean, that's very unfair. It's very unfair. Soul Rebel says, I wonder if he still has his toothpaste squeezed for him. Happy finish. Nothing better than a happy finish. Can we just hold that thought for half an hour? Ray Norton says, Bad Wolf, £1 a lick ain't bad. Bloody hell, Bad Wolf, what you been saying? I think TBT should be Queen and they put her Lady Garden on a stamp. Wouldn't mind licking that. Couldn't do it in public. They'd have you. Hate crime. Andy H, that's what you get with a fancy fountain pen. Give him Bic Biro. Yeah, well, yeah. I know money is not a problem for these people because they've got so much of it. Charging RNLI every time they launch on the foreshore. Right, 50 quid. I mean, it's a charity for crying out loud. People donate their time, for goodness sake. But no. Charles and William. And did you notice how when that... Was it Panorama? Can't remember which one it was. I think it was Panorama who did the thing about how William and Charles made their money. And all of a sudden, afterwards, it's like, oh, we've all got cancer. Yes, the king's got cancer, but he's recovering. And yes, Catherine, poor Catherine. And I thought, hang on a second. I've seen the telly thing over the weekend. No, it's Channel 4, apologies. Seen the telly thing over the weekend. Oh, Raddy Mont Blanc, indeed. Who said that? Soul Rebel. Thank you, Soul Rebel. I mean, it was a comedy routine. Oh, bloody thing. And I thought, oh, bless him. Does he go to Camilla and go, fuck off? Whoa, the fuck off. But in public, it's, oh, that bloody thing. I mean, I don't suppose that he's a bit of a potty mouth. So that's in essence, because we're going off script here, you're wrong. That's in essence how, if you want, you can get rid of any politician if they're up themselves or they're up each other in Portcullis House. Then you can say, oh, I say, bloody thing, get rid. Right, come here, you. How many? 18,000. Oh, we can get 1,800 signatures. Can you imagine going round his constituent going, here, do you want rid of him? We can get rid of him. Special branch would be like, hello, what are you doing? So it can be done. It can be. They are not going to want anybody to know this under any circumstances. So you can guarantee that the 77th Brigade will be all over social media, editing and smiting and ding dong merrily on high. Ding dong. In heaven the bells are ringing, the balls. Ding dong merrily on high. Starmer's neck we will be. Oh, steady on. we can't have violence here, my brother. No, I know you quite like it, but because I could end up in the tower, you utter wrong 'un. Oh yes, he was saying things on YouTube on his live. No, unacceptable. It's a hate crime. Like 20 years. I didn't really say anything. Oh, no, we don't care. We don't care. We're Marxist and we love it. So that's how you can get rid of, apart from Preparation H, an itch that you can't scratch. Let's get to, so we'll kind of dovetail that into this. Anybody seen where we're up to? Are we past 1.5 million for the petition, the online petition? Farage has been here. He's used. No! Has Nigel Farage used the term wrong 'un? Scoundrel. Simply because, as I've said before, I kind of, I can tell you how I bastardised the phrase. I was playing golf with one of my quite famous sports reporter, and he said to me, "Oh, she loves it up with the wrong 'un." And I thought to myself, while I was sort of licking my balls, going to the next tee, oh, I say, that's quite... So from 1999, I was using it on air. I've got a Top Man tape CD that has all the... No! 1,202 have signed the petition from Holborn and St Pancras. Oh, my word! Another 600, the boy could go. Oh, we need to tell everybody about this. Honestly, we need to tell everybody about this. Can you imagine? Right, Kia, mate, come here. Right. Well, we've had it's under the 2015 Recall Act, and it's a recall petition. And well, it's got to be a by-election, mate, because well, you only got 18,000 votes. And, well, there's nearly 2,000 people voted in this recall petition for you to box to Oscar. So, do you want to have a word with your mate, Larry Fink? And Bill Gates? You can sell your house. I will do. Thank you, moderator. You see, I keep saying to you, I do my research, and then I just like to give you hope. Because I'm not suggesting that we do anything nefarious or against the law or wicked or anything. But these snake oil sellers, they're at it. He's lied left, right and centre. I mean, we don't necessarily need to pick on Sakia, because I think he's doing a good enough job for the whole party to be unseated. But what I do like to do on these lives on a Sunday and a Wednesday is just give you a modicum of hope, so that you know that it's not all, because the news is all doom and gloom. Oh God, it's World War III. Oh God, Putin's going to nuke everybody. Oh God. And then when you come here, I want you to come here, have a bit of a giggle, enjoy the Battenberg and the altar wine and the whole setup, and then know that, and this is kind of the setup for humankind and humankindness. It's like the aliens, if they eventually come, so to speak, or the AI robots, the one thing that they've not got is us, is our emotion and our spirit and our fight. So the reason why I do this kind of stuff look, I was telling you about Black Swan events. There's been so many this year. But I told you about the Black Swan events December last year, and so watch out for them. I try to sort of help you grasp what's going on in the world in a way that's very unique. Now, watch how many YouTubers tomorrow that have been watching this will go, oh, I'll make a video about that. No, you fucking won't. Because they're all just grifters. They're all just clicks and bless them. And while we're here, if you can hit the like, please, or hit the likes, because we just need to get it over 100. So we'll get into this petition. Stuart says, thank you, Stuart. The way you do these lives is nowhere near depressing like the mainstream media or Legacy. Tom Hornies, and as for Harney's, apologies, Tom. As for Rob or Rachel from accounts, that's lying on an industrial scale. Oh, stick it on your CV. I mean, I'll tell them I was king at one point. Plenty of people have. Could be in me blood. I could have purple blood. Let's get to this what's going on, because the whole country, you see, they're all off banging each other in Portcullis House, or Sir Keir Starmer wouldn't have been doing anything yesterday. It's nice. Thank you, Kathy. 1.5 million, 1,544,000. It's not stopping. It's 100,000 an hour. It's going to get close to 2 million by the time we all go to bed tonight, if we stay up, of course. But some of these petitions, I vote regularly because there needs to be some way to hold these idiots to account, because that's all we do with these lives and when we talk and have conversations. And like I say, I vote regularly, but nothing really seems to get done. It just sort of, for a moment, you kind of go, right, you're wrong, have this, take that, you utter wrong. Or namby pamby pingo liberal, if you wish. But this feels different. I think the whole country is just really, really, really brassed off. Hang on, big audio dynamite. Covered wagon, medicine show, take you a place where the healing flows. Oh ho, weak in spirit, we got the juice. Won't save your soul, but it'll shine your shoes. Oh, is that medicine show by the Big Audio Dynamite? Did I meet them? Because they were the Clash, weren't they? Big Audio Dynamite. Anyway, let's park that, Nicholas, because that's a diversion from what we're talking about. I want to get into this. So the feel of this is very different, and they don't get the zeitgeist. They don't understand how utterly brassed off the Welland woman on the street is. You and I. Oh, brilliant. Ray Norton. Blow Oyster Cult. Don't Keir the Reaper. But like Charles, can you remember Charles? The great Reaper walked past the front door of Westminster Abbey while he was being, anointed, and spectacles, testicles, wallet and watch. And the Grim Reaper walked past the front door. And I don't know about you, I was watching and I went, oh, I wish him a long life. I hope he's healthy. But, like, Queen Consort, she succumbed to something. Charles. And he's not being very well. Gatherine's not being very well. Willie, he's not, Big Willie style, he's not, nobody's touched him. But the political parties, it appears that it's 2024. Now, 20 years ago, we were only moving on from kind of dial-up modems, and then we were getting kind of hyper-speed stuff. And do you know that Gordon Brown, the tart, oh, that bloody woman. They're all at it, man. Oh, that bloody woman. Mike's live, Gordon. Oh, what? What do you say? Mike's live. The whole country's heard that. Oh, bugger. Oh, the bloody thing. So, you've got... They just don't get it. Once they've got power and they're in that little bubble in Westminster and they're all trying to outdo each other, 20 years ago... Oh, that was what I was going to say. 20 years ago, when they were submitting the proposal for the 2012 Olympics in London, they said in this... Now, you can't find it anywhere. You literally can't find it anywhere. And I can't find it in my archive somewhere. They said, yes, well, what we'll do is if we get the Olympics for London, and then we will roll out super fast broadband and internet connection. I mean, let me have a think. 2000, I was still... my sister sent me a text and I was like, how do you do that? I can't remember whether it was I think it was an Ericsson phone that I had back then. It was like, how does that work? Somebody's just sent me something, words on the phone. So I rang her and went, what's that? And she said, oh, you can send a text. And I was like, what, really? So these clowns said that if we got the London Olympics, as part of the infrastructure of Blighty, we would give everybody, that's them, not me, super fast broadband, like 100 megs. You can get quicker now on Virgin, but back then that was like, it was like alien warp speed. It was amazing. Like the French and German got it early doors, early 2000s, but we didn't. We were just, connected to some remote modem. Did Corbyn offer free broadband for all? I know that Virgin, I fell out with them because they couldn't do what they said. And I said to them, you can Foxtrot Oscar, I'm never coming back as a customer. Beardy, I need to do a deep dive on Beardy at some point. So they said, and it didn't happen. It just didn't happen. It's like we're still 5G. Oh, I say, are we going to go to 6G and 7G? Seemingly that's the plan. But it don't work. It's not quick or fast. Oh, yeah, I mean, tomorrow's world would say, oh, if we get to 2G, oh, it'll revolutionise mobile phone networks and you can do anything and watch films and stuff and it didn't work. So this sort of petition feels different. It really feels completely different. In the general election, there were 9,708,716 people voted. I mean, if you look at American politics, who knows whether it was genuine people that voted. I went out. And you're supposed to take your letter. Hang on, Pennine Counties. 2G your ass. Bend over, I'll use lube, so don't hurt you. I'm just teasing. And I went to vote, and I said, I've forgot my letter, but I've got my driving licence. Oh, yeah, that'll do. And you just think, like in America, people rock up and are going from place to place to place. Oh, I haven't got the letter, but I've got my driver's licence. Oh, that'll do. And they can vote multiple times. So I don't know whether we need to look at, I mean, if they do say, bend over and fill my cavity, good one, Aidan. I think, I said to you months ago about this, where was it? It was probably July and August. I said to you that Tony Blair wanted his grubby fingers, and he said that they wanted to roll out individual digital identifiers. And they're doing it via the back door, which is no surprise to me. Anything from these wrong-uns is always via the back door. So they're looking at doing it, and they'll give you a problem, as David Icke said, problem solution reaction. No, one of them anyway. 10 million signatures would be a game changer for sure. Oh, absolutely. But they're going to do it via the NHS, because I'll guarantee you what they're going to do. They're going to go, look, the NHS is rotten. We are just throwing billions and billions and billions of pounds at the NHS, and it's on its knees. So what we're going to do, so that nobody can use it, so we can keep record of everybody that's using it, we'll need to give you an individual digital identifier. Well, as far as I'm concerned, they can Foxtrot Oscar, because we've got national insurance numbers. We have passports. And we are pink and English. I mean, my family roots go back to the 500s with Rollo and the Vikings. I know how long my family, on my mother's side, has been on this sceptred isle. None of these Johnny-come-latelys. So I think the reaction for this online poll, because people don't know what to do. They look to our leaders, and technically they look to our political leaders and national health numbers. I agree, Amalia, thank you. So we look to our esteemed leaders, and it's like, lead us, don't manage us, which is what we're getting from the Marxists, Starmer the Harmer. Lead us, don't manage us. But they won't, because they've got that. So all the stuff that they're getting into, I want to know Soul Rebel, I agree. We already have an NHS number each, as Amalia said. But I think what we need to have is not, when a politician comes into power from a general election, they need to declare their bank accounts and their wives' bank accounts, so we know how much money they've got. Don't start opening bank accounts for your kids and your granny and your mother. We want to know exactly how much money you've got. And whilst you're in power, we want to know how much money you're making. Oh, I agree, Hayden. Soon enough, we'll be like China. But, communism, where all men are equal, except in China, some men are more equal than others. So I would say to them, you come in, you tell us how much you've got, and when you leave, other than your the pay that you're getting as being an MP or a cabinet minister or front bench or prime minister, we want to know how much you're leaving with. And we also want to know all members of your family. We want to know where the money is. So you can't turn around and say, Mama made quite a killing on the stock exchange or Bitcoin, crypto. So this poll is on levels never seen before. And this petition, the votes for this petition, is certainly the quickest ever, other than the George Floyd, where everybody was kicking off. So, in my view, Labour and the government are not representing the people. They're not. This government, multiply, have lied to the people, whether it's a CV or whether it's will freeze the heating allowance for the pensioners, and will freeze this and that and the other, and then they get into power and it's like, I know we didn't say that. Well, yes, you bloody did, because we saw your lips move, you tart. And they all love a freebie. Let's take the Prime Minister, because he's the decision maker. He's where the buck stops, and that's why we're mentioning free gear Kia, because they all love a freebie, 100 grand worth of freebies. And I know that they work it out, that how much that this ticket would cost and how much going to see Taylor Swift. No. Honestly, they should be chucked out of power for going to see Taylor Swift for a kick-off. Yvette Cooper. Oh, my husband got the tickets. Ah, nice one. Yeah, we don't see through. We see through that completely. Your husband got them. Still a freebie. Where do you get them from? Record company? Ligging and blagging. I was an expert back in the day. So we'll have a vote. We'll have a quick vote, because you've been commenting all the way through this. And we did this a couple of weeks ago. I still want to see, is Starmer the Harmer, 2-tier Kia, Cuban Pete, 2-tier Kia, or free gear Kia, is he the most hated man in Britain? 1 for yes, 2 for no. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Is Sir Keir Starmer still the most hated man in Britain, in your view, in your eyes? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Soul Rebel's not a fan, to be fair. Everybody is of the same opinion. I thought that might be the case. But, normally any government will take at least one term. Oh, well, yeah, we were. I was going to talk about, thank you, Stuart. I was going to talk about Matt Hancock, but he is more hated than Matt Hancock. Breaking, Facebook has deleted a Facebook group called Get Labour Out with 33,000 members. Since the poll went up on Facebook, this group has had 14,000 comments. Facebook have now culled the group. Oi, 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 oi. One for yes, 2 for no. Keep going. 1 for yes, 2 for no. So, just as a little aside, park that there. Hated more than Sadiq Khan. Oof. I think it's close, but I think he just nails it. Sadiq Khan, what a clown that boy is. But he's got, while he's been in politics, he's made £10 million. So where did he make that from then? Good question. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Most hated man in the country, and the natives are revolting. Mrs. says Soul Rebel. They are. People have had enough. They're taking the pee out of us. But as I say, we have to do it through agreed channels, and the agreed channels is the 2015 Recall Act. Now, I know that over the last 4 years, it's not been great, and some of the social media companies, the old Twitter, Facebook, I mean, I hardly ever post anything on Facebook because of the way that they treated us during the lockdown. Yeah. So everybody voted that Tuti Akia, most hated man in Britain. So we'll do another one. And I'm thinking about, no, I'm with you, Stuart. I'm not a fan, and I only go on there for groups and stuff because of the way that they treated us 2020 through to 22 when we were locked down and stuff was going on. I mean, all those people, and I hate to say this, but all these people that were, I've had the jibber jabber, and I had a really close friend who went all unnecessary on me and like unleashed this tirade. And I was just like, here, have you not done your research? Do you not understand this? Oh, you're the reason everybody's going to die. Well, didn't turn out that way, did it? But all these people putting on their profile, ew, I've had the jibber jabber. Fuck's the Oscar, man. Now, as I say, on this channel, we don't judge. Because it's always with hindsight. It's always on reflection. People were just trying to do the right thing. They were being given information by their government, and they were being told, as were some of the medics on telly. Oh yes, need your jibber jabber. How much money did you make out of us then? The cash cows, government, Hancock. How much did they make? Millions. Let's look at the rubbish masks and stuff, the PPE. How much did Michelle Mone make? Exactly. 200 million. Made at least 29 million profit. And then they just binned all the PPE because it wasn't fit. Or because it had been so long they couldn't use it. The doctors on this morning was pushing the jibber jabber as well. I know, Stuart. I mean, I will not listen to anything that these clowns say because I know they're lying. Oh, Rorkeeta, good to have you in the body of the Kirk. What wrong-uns? Andy Turner and Dyson. Yeah, didn't he? Paid narrative, according to Tracy the Celibate Sinner. Didn't Dyson move abroad and move his base all abroad? But this Facebook thing, where they're literally culling stuff that could be truthful, but it doesn't fit their narrative. I've just got one thing to say to Mark Zuckerberg. Hope you're watching, mate. What happened to your MMA fight with Elon Musk? You couple of wrong-uns. Oh, you swept that one under the carpet, didn't you? You think we forgot? No, did we, bollocks? You said you were going to take him on, doing all this jiu-jitsu. Come and do ninjutsu with me. I'll kick your ass. And then Elon Musk said, oh, yeah, we'll do it. And they never did. It was a distraction. But Zuckerberg will have his clowns eviscerate a group of people, 30-odd thousand, I think it was. It's Dyson hoovering up the farmland. Very good. So they don't like it up them, Captain Mannering. Elon Musk, Freudian slip. Yes, Rorkeeta. I'm so glad you caught it. Definitely. Wait, do you know he's got a new girlfriend? Elon Musk. He's got a new girlfriend. She's Chinese. Or is she Thai? Or they, oh, we're courting. Courting's a lovely word. Oh, yes, we're together now in a relationship. He's a banger, that boy. I mean, how many kids he's got? It's a full football squad. Elon Musk is better. I'm on a Rokida. Oh, God. You're welcome. So the last time we looked, 1,544,000 signatories, because people are looking for answers. People are looking for, how can we deal with this? Because all the people that I speak to, including you on here, Petition Parliament, thank you, moderator, he's not married. Not sure. I think he has been. I mean, it was like Frank Zappa. Somebody called it Moon Unit, or Zowie Bowie. I think he called his son X or something, and numbers and digits. I mean, you know, richest man in the world, highly intelligent, great character, but Paul Durkee says, I thought Dyson was based in the Far East. Don't know. I think he went into Europe. Not sure. I was going to ask you. So we've done the most hated man. So in my view, Labour have finished as a political party. Thank you for letting us know about that. I just don't. I have a profile. I'm very rarely on there. Twitter's it for me. Twitter's the everything app, because it is going to be, certainly over the next 4 years, it's going to be the everything. Now, normally it takes one term for a political party to kind of get in there, and if they haven't been in power for a long time, it takes a while for them to get used to what they are doing. But this poll sends a very clear message, in my view. Labour are finished as a political party. And do you know why? As Ursula von der Leyen said at the WEF in January, we've got to get people to trust us. Well, that didn't work, did it? So we've got Dead-Eye Starmer and I think what they're doing is they're getting in there and they are working quickly. They're trying to get stuff done, because when they get to, they know that this is all going to be tough. Oh, there's some shit going to start flying this week. I can't remember what they said they were going to do, but it's going to something's going to land, and so they're going to do something else this week, obviously to distract us from what's going on in northern towns and why people aren't being held to account for kicking off in Manchester Airport. So everybody who is just watching, observing what's going on, and it's like they're finished. Let's just cut to the chase. They are finished. So I don't know whether you've got your typing fingers on. Tom Harney's arrogance turns them blind. Yeah, they're power drunk. But remember the old saying that I've frequently used here is power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. So these clowns think that because they've got a majority, they can go and do anything. But the challenge for them now is that you and I, we have avenues of communication open to us, whether it be Telegram, whether it be Twitter, whether it be Insta or here, not Facebook, because they'll just kill you. They don't understand us. They literally don't understand us. And when they're talking of, right now, let's go to Portcullis House and have our back doors bashed in, and then let's have some canapes in the Westminster bubble. Whilst they're all doing that, they literally have no clue about what we need. And we need leadership, not management. And Toka69 says, do you think this petition is a smokescreen for all the suspicious packages stories? Yeah, of course. I mean, I am going to get to that. I've got enough research here tonight to keep going for 5 hours, I swear. But I want to, just asking for your opinion, and I'm just asking for your insight. What message do you think this online poll is sending to the Labour government and the political classes. What message do you think this is sending? I have had someone that I hold in the highest regard, a nationally known person from the political bubble that has agreed to come on and do an interview. So we're trying to sort that out this week, because on Friday there's going to be the vote in the House on the assisted dying, and we'll do that in a second. But a couple of things to make you go, Richard Austin says they won't listen. Thank you, Richard. I know, because they believe they're right, and they're not. Jackie Glasgow says that the public are very angry. I mean, I don't think Starmer has... If you look at his demeanour, he doesn't have... Look, for all of his faults and Thatcher's, Blair was confident and had a way about him, as did Thatcher. And I'm using those as the examples. But you look at Starmer, and his eyes are dead. All right, he's got new suits from Lord Ali. But it's almost as if he's a robot. It's almost as if you could take the back of his head off and see it's a computer. And whenever he's out, there's people talking, Sakir, say this. Ant and Dec. Interestingly, there was a successful post office petition, but they still, thank you, Stuart, but they still haven't done anything with that, the post office petition. There's the inquiry going on. Matt Hancock was in front of it the other day. Oh, yeah, I did a night shift at one of the... Did you bollocks? Oh, yeah, well, we're really busy. We were really busy. Were you bollocks? Technical term that we use in radio. I mean, I know he's got thick skin. He's a barrister. He doesn't care about other human beings. I don't even think that he realises he's a human being. And his missus and his kids. But let's talk about some of the things that's been happening over the last couple of days. So Russia fires a ballistic missile with multiple re-entry warheads into Ukraine. Now, President Shitty Pants said, oh, yeah, to me mate Zelensky, Sniffy, yeah, just do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Yeah, we'll send them over. And, like, within 24 hours, less than 24 hours, they're starting to fire all these... We don't know whether it was intercontinental, but certainly a ballistic, an intermediate range ballistic missile. We don't know what the deal was, but it was fired. And then Starmer the Harmer is meeting with Bill Gates and Larry Fink. Larry Fink, chief exec of BlackRock. And he's even come out and mentioned BlackRock. How much money is Starmer being paid? What is he being paid and how much? Could be just his prime ministerial wage. But what happens is something happens. And then online, because the politicians don't get this, online, what they do is they send out... So I was looking at some stuff around this petition earlier today, and all these bots started appearing. And they were all like, Labour's wonderful. No, it's all bots. It's all doing this and doing that. And I thought, no, these are bots. Because they couldn't be told. And the way the petition works is you sign it and then you get sent an email. And then you click on the link on the email. And that's when your vote is registered. It's a government website. Has Ricky Jones been sentenced? Not sure, Ray. But... So Russia, and there was video of this, Russia sent this intercontinental or intermediate range ballistic missile. And the whole world went, whoa, hang on a second, stop that. Yeah, he's probably been given favours. Touch your toes. So whatever the range of the missile, the world held its breath. Everybody. And Starmer's going, yeah, look, Sniffy, just fire whatever you want. We'll send it across. Fire whatever you want. Now, hang on a second. The little Ukrainians couldn't fire our missiles because they don't know how to. So, hang on a second. Starmer the Harmer is giving our military carte blanche to go over to Ukraine and fire these missiles. So, in essence, we were the ones firing the missiles at Russia. And Vladimir Putin's gone, no, you're not going to do that. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. We have the technology. Poof, there's a ballistic missile. And that's why everybody went, oh, hang on a second, this is getting serious. Well, of course it's getting serious, because Putin's just turned around and went, here, Foxtrot Oscar, the lot of you. If you want war, we're very clever at it. Now, these missiles that they fired into Ukraine, they're always assumed to carry nuclear payload. But that means that NATO, and this is important, so listen up. It means that NATO was either pre-warned about the non-nuclear payload or did nothing when their alert systems started flashing. I'm going to read that to you again because I wrote it down specifically. NATO was either pre-warned about the non-nuclear payload or did nothing when their alert system started flashing. It's always the golden hour. The first 60 minutes when anything happens, that's when the truth's there. And America was told, from what I saw said, America was told by nuclear channels that it didn't have a nuclear warhead on it. So the Americans, it had hit the ground before the Americans had gone, whoa, hang on a second. Terry Wookford says, the Yanks have admitted they were pre-warned and IRBM launch would trigger their systems and an automatic DEFCON increase. Shall we play a game? We've seen the movie. Thank you, Terry. But the fact that the US closed its embassy, was it yesterday? Or all these, like the Scandinavians, they're not really fighters, but they're like, oh, shit, the brown stuff's going to hit the fan. Right, everybody out, everybody out. And everybody's like, hang on a second. What, you think you're going to go to war? What's going on? So most people will deflect it. But that Oreshnik missile, which travels at 2 miles per second or 3,000 kilometers per second. Yeah, right. I think everybody's coming to the same conclusion that the Yanks poking the bear on purpose to stop the transition in January. So if America, and this is really easy to see, if they go to war and the president has not been inaugurated, it will be President Shitty Pants or Camel Toe that will be in charge. Because if he's not, because what they'll do, they want Camel Toe in charge. They want her to be president. They want a female president, the left. But Poopy Pants, he doesn't know whether he's Arthur or Martha or whether it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday or Friday. Can I have ice cream? Calm down. Can I sit here and lick a 99? So they want a war. And if they get a war and it kicks off, then Trump does not get into power. Poopy Pants and Camel Toe will stay in power so long as there is war. And they want it to be a 20 or 30 year war. So they don't have to kill the Donald. They don't have to assassinate him at all. They'll just leave these two Muppets in power. Because they always wanted Camel Toe to press the nuclear button. Always. Wow. 1.5 million. Yeah, it looks like it'll get to close to 2 million tonight. But then it's going to be, it's open until the 25th, I think. So this Oreshnik missile, I don't know whether you've seen any of the videos, but it's as badass as a missile gets. It may reach the UK in less than 19 minutes. Can you imagine? They're scaring the bejesus out of us. But as I said earlier in the live, I want to give you hope here. that there are answers, there are ways. But the media, they just want you to shit yourself. And everybody will like, oh, I say, is it World War III? Should I go and buy a few newspapers? They don't care. They just want you to buy the bloody paper. They'll tell you lies. Politicians are lying. Newspapers are lying. They don't care. Imagine if they put something in it to make it go bang. I know, Terry. It's... I don't think Putin is playing. I think he's told them, when two tribes go to war... Oh, I can't remember the lyrics. Thank you, Des. So they can get to the UK in 19 minutes. So that'll be our nation's capital, maybe Edinburgh, Wales. I mean, it might cause millions of pounds worth of improvements in Wales. And London, Londinium. Mind you, take carnage out. And everybody, all the media are pointing at young Vlad and going, it's his fault. It's his fault. Well, hang on a second. You're getting Ukraine, and America and England are getting missiles to Ukraine that they can send over into Russia. What options do you think he has? Now, from what I can gather, Trump has been negotiating with the head of NATO the last couple of days, because all of a sudden it just went very quiet and silent. And he's been negotiating. 99 Luftballon. Nice one, English bottle cap. He's been negotiating with NATO. And I think Trump said to NATO, look, we are paying billions into NATO. And, well, if you don't stop buggering around... Thank you, Terry. When two tribes go to war, point is all that you can score. Score no more, score no more. When two tribes go to war, a point is all that you can score. Working for the black gas. It was a great song. Great song. So I think that oh, that's interesting. Thank you, Terry. Wonder if the truth about a certain British mercenary captured by the Russians in Kursk recently will come out. 252 signals, my arse. James Scott Rees Anderson. Ooh, I'll have a look at that. Thank you, Terry. So if Vladimir was like, what happened today? So I've always told you that it's all about energy independence. And the Black Sea is technically what they're fighting over. And Vladimir wants Crimea, because Crimea is where all the black gold is, the oil and the gas. And the Black Sea, now look, when 9/11 happened, thankfully I was on my toes, and it was the Caspian Sea that they were after. And the Caspian Sea had, this is back in 2000, current conservative estimates, 300 years worth of gas and oil under the Caspian Sea that would keep America going, and parts of Russia and parts of Europe. So that's why Vladimir Putin was across. So as soon as 9/11 happened, within 4 or 5 days, Vladimir Putin was out of Russia over to George W.'s ranch in Texas, negotiating, building a pipeline out of the Caspian Sea, down through Afghanistan, Tajikistan, warm water port in Pakistan. That's already been built and it's operational. It's 20 years down the line. But they want the same. Turkey and some of the other countries, Bulgaria, Turkey, Ukraine, they all border the Black Sea. They all want their cut of the oil and gas that's under the Black Sea. And Vladimir don't want to give them that. Thank you, John. John Keegan says the missile was hypersonic, was unstoppable. So he sent the missile across with the message, yeah, go about with me. I'm not messing about. So London, 19 minutes. Brussels, 14 minutes. Berlin, 11 minutes. Warsaw, 8 minutes. If this man wants to teach Europe a lesson, he's literally going to flatten it. And we wouldn't know. 20 minutes in, this Oreshnik missile simply cannot be intercepted by anything in the collective West's arsenal. And that includes the United States of America. So let's juxtapose that, for want of a better term. Let's juxtapose that. So Vladimir Putin, he's not messing about. You muck about with me, you're getting it. And that's why all the politicians have gone, ooh! And that's why, because Trump knows he needs to come up with a solution. And so long as they don't go nuclear, I'm going to give you this fact. 48 billion barrels under the Caspian Sea, 292 trillion cubic feet of gas. Largest reserves are located off the west of Kazakhstan and Azerbaijan. I know, that's why they're all out there. But back in 20 years ago, people didn't know about this. Maybe that's why I was taken off air. But I want to juxtapose what we're talking about, because is it World War III? No. I think the whole world is like, whoa, hang on, lads, let's not be hasty here. But the Ukrainians, whether it's sniffy or not, but the Ukrainians have stolen up to half, 50% of all US aid. And who's said this? Ex-Polish deputy minister. Kiev laundered money for the Democrats, taking a cut of what was left over. Peter Kulpa has claimed. He's an ex-Polish deputy minister. So he's going to know. So the Ukrainians have laundered up to half of the US aid going to Ukraine. I mean, I think it was about $185 billion in aid has gone to Ukraine, and they've laundered half of it. That'll be another Bugatti coming out of Paris for Sniffy's missus. I was going to talk about assisted dying, but we were kind of covering other things, I think. Let's get to the online poll and/or what exactly is happening in this country, because it defies description. The government and people know what's going on. They knew what was going on in Southport. They get all the information. PDQ. So there's been some explosions over the weekend. Gatwick Airport was closed down. Euston had a controlled explosion, Euston train station. But there's been exploding parcels all over the UK. Now, according to a Gatwick Airport whistleblower, something was discovered in a laptop. But yet again, our corrupt and compliant mainstream media, are not asking any questions. They're not. Everything's always the Russians, the Russians, the Russians. But do you believe that information is being hidden from you, the British public? Is that what you feel? Now, I'm going to ask questions. Because this is, I don't know whether they want us so compliant that literally we're not asking questions, we're not interested, we're being diverted by online polls and stuff. But people are hopeful with this poll. But we need to ask the tool makers' sons' favourite tools of repression. Look, prohibitions, reporting restrictions, secrecy, have any Schedule D notices being issued? And, I mean, who knows, maybe super injunctions. I mean, can you remember the time that in a Soviet era, Czech youth camp wasn't wasted? Bomb disposal in Glasgow this week, plus the you've forgotten this one, the decapitated head in Edinburgh. Remember that? Now, I know Edinburgh really well. I lived there for 10 years, and I saw this head. So somebody's kicking this head, thinking it was like it was a dummy. Wasn't. And the police haven't come out. The police haven't said anything. Nothing. Nix. Nada. Nout. Absolutely bugger all. Said nothing. A human being has been decapitated. And the police are not trying to reassure the Scots. The Scots will kick off big time. Because they're not, for one, for being fooled. So that decapitated head in Edinburgh at the end of October, nothing in the media anymore. And where the head and the body was found, I've been drinking around there. I know it quite well. Know the pubs very well. And I'm going to give you two more pieces of research that I've been doing. I was going to talk about punk in 1976. No, I'll leave that for another video. I might leave it for Wednesday. But I'm going to dovetail these two pieces. It's got lots of information in it because it took a lot of research. But and a lot of the audience here will know this. Terry Walkford, it was a bus that did it on a route where buses don't go. I know, it wasn't a bus. You don't. No. I agree with you, Terry. I do agree with you. But let's kind of continue on with Ukraine. Because we've got stuff happening. We're not being told what's going on. We don't know whether it's Russia. Have you heard about the drones over American Air Force bases in this country? There's been 3 or 4 drones found. The Americans knew before we do. Hang on a second. This is Blighty. We run Blighty. No. So there's been these drones. They don't know what they are. I mean, I don't know whether they're setting us up for, it's bloody aliens. But let's concentrate on Ukraine. And as I've said repeatedly over the last couple of years, he who controls the rare earth controls the energy. Ukraine sits on critical minerals exceeding $26 trillion in value. It's not to be sniffed at. I mean, it's golden for the Americans. The Americans want it all. And the Americans want the gas and the oil out of the Black Sea. Not necessarily, maybe they'll do a deal with Putin, maybe they'll do a deal with the Russians. But do you really think that Ukraine is about democracy? So Ukraine, iron ore, they are one of the top 10 countries in the world. It's vital for steel, used extensively in energy infrastructure. But Ukraine is one of the top 10 producers of iron ore in the world. Manganese, substantial reserves, making it a leading producer globally. Crucial for batteries. So why is Elon Musk wanting to go to Mars? Is it the lithium? Is it the minerals in Mars? Does he need lithium for his car batteries? Titanium. Ukraine has the largest titanium reserves in Europe, vital for electric vehicles, EVs, aerospace, wind turbines, solar panels. Ukraine is also one of the largest producers of graphite, with about 300 deposits. Ukraine ranks second globally in graphite reserves, holding approximately 20% of the world's total, vital for batteries. Uranium. Ukraine has significant uranium reserves, estimated at 45.6 thousand tons. Vital for nuclear power. Coal. Ukraine's coal reserves are substantial, around 34 billion tons, making it Europe's second largest coal reserve. Russia needs it. The West doesn't want Russia to have it. And the oil and gas reserves of about 138 million tons of oil and 1,118 billion cubic meters of natural gas. Russia needs it. The West doesn't want Russia to have it. And remember, he who controls the energy controls the world. So they're fighting over this. That's why Russia went into Afghanistan in the 80s. People were thinking, why they're for the black gold in the Caspian Sea. That's why they went into Afghanistan. But here's the thing. Look beyond. Who's going to rebuild Ukraine after the war. BlackRock. So I've been looking into BlackRock, and it is staggering what I found so far. As of December 31st last year, 2023, their assets, BlackRock's assets, reached $11.5 trillion. Trillion. Not million, billion, trillion. And it makes BlackRock the largest asset manager in the world. They have a market net worth of $159.22 billion. That's increased by a staggering 64% in just 1 year, just the last year. They own 47% of the Ukrainian land. So they're going to divvy it up, a bit like Iraq. The minute that the Americans went into Iraq, forget the South, stuff that. We'll just go up and take the oil fields. BlackRock has close ties with the Labour Party Chief Executive Officer Larry Fink, attended Labour's investment summit and posed with pictures with the PM. Now remember, Starmer the Harmer said, we have £63 billion worth of inward investment, but he didn't tell you who from. He names BlackRock yesterday. So Starmer is metaphorically, politically, in bed with Larry Fink, the chief exec of BlackRock. Is it Bill Gates that's giving him money, part of the 63 billion? They don't give it for nothing. They want something back. Gates and BlackRock want something back. Now, the BlackRock founders, I know Larry Fink is the chief exec, but there's also a female called Susan Wagner. Don't know whether you've heard of her. And Robert S. Capito. Two names that are not usually bandied about, so they'll be operating in the background somewhere. Jonathan Reynolds, who is the Secretary of State for Business and Trade, told the executives of BlackRock, and I quote, that he looked forward to working together to change the face of the UK. Just remember, you know what the deal is with the farmers. So here's the deal. BlackRock have trillions of dollars at their disposal. They've got assets of $11.5 trillion. They're going to try and get the land off the farmers. But here's the rub. They will inflate the price of land in this country. So say, and it's an arbitrary figure that I'm plugging out of the air. I know that it's not exact. Say it's £10,000 per acre. They've got so much money, they don't care if it's inflated up to £50,000 an acre. But what that does is the other farms who then have to pay the inheritance tax means that BlackRock can buy all of the farms. Now, these clowns in the Pink Palace, they're saying 75% of all farmers won't be hit by this inheritance tax. Not at the moment they won't, but the minute the BlackRock starts spending money and, oh, I know it's worth £10,000 an acre, but we'll give you 50. All of a sudden, the inheritance tax threshold inflates and inflates and inflates. So that the small farmer who wouldn't have been caught in all of this suddenly has to start paying inheritance tax because they go beyond the threshold because BlackRock inflate the price of the land. Can you see how the gig works? Can you see what they're doing? Now, at the beginning, some of the farmers will be like, bloody hell, again, arbitrary figures, £50,000 an acre. Whoa, that's wonderful. So they can pay they can use the land to pay off their inheritance tax. But then all the other farmers that are coming behind them, all of a sudden, their farms are worth not 3 million, but 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 million pounds. And they've got to pay the inheritance tax on that. And there's only step forward, the knight in shining armour, whether it's Bill Gates or Larry Fink. We'll buy that, we'll buy that, we'll buy that. Oh, you can't put cows on that land. Alan says, will Clarkson sell up? Clarkson only bought it because it was going to mean he wouldn't pay inheritance tax. So I'm not sure about you, but the more I look into this with those thoughts, the more I look into this, the more I just don't like it. They're clever, I'll give them that. But it's all about the Benjamins. They're artificially inflating the price of land in this country so that the farmers that wouldn't, gangsters, says Alan, I agree with you. It feels like all my life we've been ruled by people on the take. Johnny Ray says, well, at least we can see through it now. At least we know the game. We can absolutely see through all of this. And then when the farmers, I think this was done on purpose. Oh, get them to march in London. Yeah, we'll get it all over the press. And then what happens? They inflate the price of the land because they're bringing big money into it. And the little British farmer, oh, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Right, just sell us your farm. And I don't understand why people are not talking about this. I mean, you can see through what they're doing. They don't care. Trillions of dollars at their disposal. And the politicians are not going to lead us. They're not going to protect us. They want a bit of that. As English bottle cap says, farmers are chief executive officers of a business, so there should not be any inheritance tax. I agree with you. But can you see how they're doing it? Because it's not going to happen for a couple of years. Maybe there'll be farms go under over the next 12 months or so. But, oh, yeah, all right, then they'll buy up most of Europe. I've told you before, in the when we were talking about CJD on Wednesday, I said to you that the beef industry in this country, in the UK, was worth then, 20 years ago, £8 billion. But what they wanted to do was Poland or Romania, probably Poland, I think. They didn't really have a great beef industry. So they wanted to move our industry into Poland so that would benefit that country. And then they could send their cattle over here. And so long as it is butchered in this country, it gets a British mark. Nobody knew. So I'm watching the farmers, and I know it's tough for them because maybe they are asset rich and cash poor, but that's why BlackRock have got them. If it is BlackRock, it might be one of the other companies that BlackRock owns. And if you look at, maybe I'll do a video on BlackRock, but if you look at BlackRock and Larry Fink, they are owned shareholders by, was it Merrill Lynch, the bank? They're all at it. It's fingers everywhere. Theo Bovril says, why did they not opt to send French beef farming to Poland then? Well, if you look at what's going on today, the last couple of days, so America, President Shitty Pants goes, oh yeah, you can fire. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll send it across. We'll send our army across, our military, and we'll program it so you can fire them at Russia. And then the Brits, Starmer, yeah, don't worry. Yeah. We'll have a bit of that. Yeah, we'll have a bit of that. And the French, who obviously got no backbone, they've only come out today and gone, would you like to some of our missiles? And Terry's right. The Tories would have brought in the same measures if they had been elected instead of Labour. It's WEF policies the UK government, Labour or Tory, are following. I agree, Terry, I agree. I did ask a question on the other day. Let's see if I can bring that up on my screen. And I asked you a question. So I said, it was this one. I said an online petition. This is in the community tab on the channel, and I ask questions there a lot. An online petition for a general election is almost at 1 million votes. That was much earlier. If there was a general election tomorrow, who would you vote for? Liberal Democrats got 4%, and it's. Let me just refresh this page because I'm sure there'll be more people voting. So the Liberal Democrats were 4%, nearly 270 votes. The Conservatives, 3%. Labour, 1%. And you know who got 91%? There was only 4 options that I could put up there. Reform. So the people know, the people just want to live their lives without any shite and hassle and just get on. And these political leaders, Fred Barker says, reform are the only option now. Johnny Ray, reform seemed to be the only viable option. Not Labour, not Conservative, not the Lib Dems, not any of the tree-hugging hippie nonsense parties. 91% of 270 votes. So you can tell by how people are voting, and with this online poll and some of the questions I've asked. I did ask, did you think the ballistic missile launched by Russia is a major escalation towards World War III or saber rattling to push for a Trump peace deal in 2025? 34% said major escalation, but interestingly, 53% saber rattling for a peace deal. So again, there are a lot of people, a bit like America, where they thought that Camel Toe was going to get in because all the polls were insisting that she was going to win. But that's because the narrative is, if they can show that someone's going to win, they can cheat, because it doesn't seem surprising when they do win. But the people who are, they're just sitting and biding their time. Pun not intended. And we have, look, I've got a lot of information, and politically I've been aware since the 60s. I know I don't look that old, you tart. You can just see how these people work now. You can see through the bullshit. You can see through what they're doing. And what are they doing? They are literally in it for themselves. They don't care about anything else. They don't care about you, your family, your kids, your grandkids. They don't give a flying about anybody else. That's why these people are evil. These people are evil. They don't care. And the other people with the money, the Benjamins, that they want to get all the millions and billions from, they don't care either. And I genuinely believe that it's a spiritual war between good and evil. I know everybody talks about it, but you can see it a mile away. And what I bring to this live on a Sunday and a Wednesday, I do my research, so it's factual. John Keegan, welcome to the Body of the Kirk, John. John says, I think you're missing the core point. When the land is taken, food prices will skyrocket. When the land is taken, there won't be any food, because they'll dictate what you can and can't eat. And I thought about this today. I really fancied a nice juicy steak. And I thought, do you know, if they get hold of the beef in this country, they'll decide whether I can have a nice juicy steak, or I can have a roast chicken dinner, or I can have roast pork or roast lamb or any of that. We will not have the choice. You'll eat bloody crickets whether you like it or not. That's why they want to do it. And I can't at the moment, I don't have the insight into why they would do that. Why they want to kill off human beings, rule the world. I mean, for what ends? Just so you can go, I'm in charge. And Elon Musk saying we're going to go to Mars. How do we end shite, man? They've got to get through the Van Allen belt first, and there's not one human being that's got through the Van Allen belt. Not one. Well, they went to the moon. No. They can't get through the radiation or be irradiated by the Van Allen belt. They can't get to the moon, so how are they going to get to bloody Mars? So I think that's kind of, it's been interesting tonight. And thank you for all your comments, and thank you for your social credit system. Yeah, the Chinese have got. I'll just have a look at some of the comments that are coming in. Social credit system. A Daily Bush took a trial, says the Bad Wolf Project. Yep, they're laughing at us. They literally are laughing at us. And while we're distracted about, oh my God, our family, our homes, this Labour government want us to have electric vehicles by 2030. They are talking out of their tiny, hairy arse. And I'll tell you for why. And I told you this a year ago, because the insurance companies will not insure them. Now, insurance companies, if they can make a 30% markup, if they can make a profit of 30% on their turnover, then that's a good business. But all of a sudden, if a Porsche crashes and it's got an electric battery in it, and it's cheaper to renew the car than replace the battery, that's not a good business model at all. I've seen some of the adverts in today's newspapers where they're saying, oh yes, have an electric vehicle. In my view, personally, I think that if we have a hybrid, that's a better way to go. But people that are trashing their cars, and then the insurance company goes, £6,000 to insure your car. Don't worry, Nigel. Oh, I'm in my flow. But I have a hybrid. And they say, oh, well, when you're driving around the doors in town, it's electric. But if you go on longer motorway driving, then it charges the battery back up. Yeah, Ray Norton says, Ford losing a fortune making EVs. Soul Rebel, the leader, will be in their Dachau. And then, I know. They'll be, let's face it. If he wants to be communist, does old Kia, why isn't he driving about in a Zil? Those big luxury cars from Russia. Obviously not. But, and and the mainstream media, you can guarantee the newspapers over the weekend, all they've talked about, 1,645,000. So it's still going up by a good 100,000 an hour. No, it said Dachau, so I repeated that. I think Dachau was correct. Jaguar have gone all EV and woke. Jaguar's done. It's finished. Can you imagine some of the old boys wanting to buy a Jag, and then they're met with what's in the advert? They're not. They're just going to... Look, people will vote with their feet. That's how life is working now. We know some of the companies that have gone woke, gone broke. Jaguar, not going to last much longer. I watched it because I needed to know. But for me personally, it was a hard watch. Maybe we all go back to bikes. Maybe that's what they want. They're communists. And I don't think we have to be intellectual about this and sort of say, well, it might be like this and it might be like that. Look, the communists in China, the Chinese, they're not happy. I was watching Ricky Gervais the other day, and he told this joke about there's 10 million PDFs in China. There's not enough kids for them. Now, as challenging as that joke is, the Chinese rule with a fist of iron. unless you're doing what you're told, you're not going to be allowed to do anything. So the food, Nigel says, Porsche have halted all further production of their EVs. They have a huge backlog, whilst they have a waiting list for ICE Porsches. I think that the people that watch this channel and the people that interact with me on these lives, no one is stupid. Everyone. I mean, unless, what's the old saying? A fool and his money are easily parted. You want to buy a Jaguar. You want to buy all that woke shite. Now, admittedly, there's 15-minute cities. I know, James, I know. Sorry, Jules. Apologies, my eyesight's shot. I know. And if you look at London, that's what they're doing with London. They're going to carve the major cities up, whether it's London or Birmingham or Manchester, Liverpool, Newcastle, Edinburgh, Glasgow. These major conurbations they're going to carve up into districts. And then everything that you need will be within 15 minutes within that district, whether it's a hospital, whether it's a school, whether it's I don't even think there'll be pubs by that point. I mean, can you imagine living a life? And Mayor Carnage, he's having to kiss the arse of Donald Trump. He was like, no, you can fuck Oscar. And then the next day comes out and goes, oh, well, if President Donald Trump would like to come to London, obviously I'll take him to this place and that place. How about a Christian church? You utter wrong'un. Because there is some wonderful history in this Sceptred Isle. I mean, there's the Knight Templar Church. Why doesn't he take him there? Because the Muslims don't like the Templars. No, they don't like it up them. I mean, the Templars have killed thousands and thousands and thousands trying to take Jerusalem over 300 years. So why can't he go to a Christian church? Westminster Abbey, why can't he go there? Royal family do. No, he can come with me. So it's all these clowns don't care. It's kind of, they're drunk on power. They want to hold the power. They want to control the power, but they also want to make a nice bit of bumps while they're on. So Sheer Carnage, he's made £10 million while he's been in politics. He was a non-dom at one point. Didn't pay tax. Tart. But me and you, if we don't pay tax, HMRC, bloody hell, stormtroopers are at the door. What's that? Nicholas says, we went to the green old Dixielanders. Oi. Remember that? Whitemare Pool for dinner today. 12 people in pub. 12 people. Pubs are fucked. I know. I mean, you can't... Look, the Workingmen's Club on my estate, Town End Farm in Sunderland. You could go there and you could talk politics. You could talk freely. You went in. There was the lounge. There was the bar. Only the men were allowed in the bar. A bit antiquated, but you could go in there. You could swear your head off. You can do whatever. You could fart your head off, and nobody would bat an eyelid. But you go into the lounge where the women were, and I mean, when was it? I went to London 8 months ago. King's Cross, there was a pub in King's Cross, charging like £8 a pint. What? And I said to the guy behind the bar, bloody hell, man, I've only just come down for the day. At least he took and wore a mask. Didn't find it funny. So it's all gone a little awry. And the man and woman on the street who just don't want hassle in their life, I think. I'm including myself in that. I just want a peaceful life. I don't want any shit and hassle. And I just want to be able to, no, £5 a coffee at Costa, Amalia. Bloody hell. They're not letting us. I've said this many times over the last couple of years on this channel. The NHS is done. Because they're going to turn around and say, we can't keep giving this amount of money to the NHS. So you'll have emergency treatment at A&E. Everything else you'll need insurance for. Telling you, it's coming. So why are this leadership team that we have, and I think this is why people are kicking off major time with this poll, is because we've given them our trust. And it's a bitter pill to swallow when the trust isn't there. Some people thought that getting Labour into power, what he was saying, well, it sounded really good, and he was going to do this and this and this, and he's got into power. He hasn't done anything except have Larry Fink and Bill Gates, Larry Finks and Bill Gates at number 10. Thieving bar stewards. And all we wanted was to believe. All we wanted was to trust. And politics isn't that anymore. Interesting point Alan makes. You would think that people wouldn't trust governments at all once they reach 40. It is a betrayal, Soul Rebel. Because we all knew he was saying one thing, but we just didn't think he would get into power and not necessarily say the other thing, but absolutely do it to shaft the working man and woman. It's obscene what they've done. And Dublin, Stuart. I think we might talk about Conor McGregor on Wednesday. Bit of a standoff going on. But on a serious note, there's a lot of nervous turkeys out there. Hey, there's only a month to go. Mind you, take them down to the Houses of Parliament. I'm sure there's a few turkey shaggers in there. So when we do this tour next year, will it be within 15 minutes of a city? Going to need a bloody long extension cable to car those EVs if we do it in the sticks. Yeah, we are thinking about going on the road next year, 2025. We'll do it on Wednesday, Stuart. I think it's a very delicate subject matter with Conor. I know some of the people around him. I once trained at my ninjutsu dojo, and the head ninja came to me and said, look, I've got a bit of a plan. I've got this young kid. And this kid was a great boxer. So I don't know whether I've actually trained with Conor McGregor. I know some of my close ninjas have, part of his team. But let's talk about it Wednesday. I think it's better if we talk about Wednesday. So I think it's all, there's a darkness, there's a heaviness, there's a weightiness to things now. And we came out of lockdowns, 2020, 2 years. They said 6 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks. No, that's all. That'll be it. And then it was 2 years. And we've come out of that. The amount of mental health issues on the streets and in families now has been ramped up by having people locked at home for months and months and months or on edge. Sorry, I was reading Terry Wookfit's message, which I'll read out in a second. The people, like the kids, just wanted to go with their mates, just wanted to be at school with their mates. And the kids are struggling now. The adults didn't get it much better. They got it just as tight as the kids. But we had some coping mechanisms. And it's as Terry says, I bet Johnny Prescott is spinning in his grave like a washing machine on spin. Shame he was attached to a generator. Ed Miliband, I'm not going to use your word, Terry, caring, understanding 90s type, would be creaming himself. I mean, there's Ed Miliband. He was leader of the Labour Party and was abjectly shite. There's no other word for it. At least Lardy Prescott could jab a bit. But so they got rid of him. David Miliband was the better politician, and he legged it over to America. So I think we'll call it a day at that. Thank you to everyone that's been commenting and been here and been engaged by tonight's live. I think it's very interesting times. We've got, we need the Donald to stay well and fit and healthy. But like I say, Nick Clegg, Global VP of Meta. We need him to get into power. And this is not a political statement I'm making. This is a common sense. There's evil in the world. And this evil entity or entities are trying to kill us off. From the lockdown, I lost quite a few friends. One, it was attributed to the jibber jabber. They want us gone. But I will be here Sundays and Wednesdays, keeping an eye on things. I'll have a read of your messages tomorrow, because you've been writing some amazing stuff tonight. So thank you for the giggles. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your likes, your subscriptions, but most of all, your indulgence. My name's Adrian Allen. Jackie Glasgow. I love horror films. Never thought we'd be living one. Very prescient. Thank you for that, Jackie. See you at 8 o'clock on Wednesday. Got a few ideas for videos over the next couple of days. And thank you very much for being there tonight. Really enjoyed it. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed it too. See you Wednesday, 8 o'clock.